Greetings, Earthlings. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing so well today. It is swelteringly hot, so I hope you guys are staying out of the sun but having some summer fun. In this video, I brought forward all the messages that you guides have for you right now. If this is your first time here, a special hello to you. Hi, I'm Zach. I use a natural psychic ability and I read tarot cards here on YouTube. Before we begin, I want to let you guys know that I am still booking private readings. You can find all the information in the description box. You can follow the link in my banner, or you can email me, and we can customize a reading for you. I also want to remind you that make sure you make an effort and ground your energy before choosing a pile, because when you ground your energy, it gives us the very best chance at linking up in time and space so that I can pull forward the most useful information. Thank you so much for sitting through that, and I will see you at your chosen pile. I want to start off with a house, so I'm going to draw a house for you guys and see where we want to talk about. If you guys celebrate Pride, happy Pride to you. It seems to be this one, the fifth house. Cool. Okay, so we want to talk about the fifth house of passion. Let me just read these off for you guys real quick. Okay, fifth house, passion, performance, entertainment, creativity, costume, play, love affairs, joy, pleasure, parties, children, humor, romance, disco ball. Okay, so let me just reach for a deck and tune in for a couple seconds. I was going to draw a spread before, but I'm going to just tune in now. It feels pretty good. Okay. Curious. Okay. So I'm getting the idea that you guys are embarking somewhere new, and the most important energy at this time is to be in the energy of expecting the unexpected, or to allow yourself to entertain a beginner's mindset. Some of you actually really want to travel, and I'm hearing that for some of you, your love actually doesn't live in the same country as you, okay? Your soulmate or the person you're supposed to spend a significant relationship with in this lifetime, I'm hearing they're actually in a different country or they live overseas. And for some of you, this is an invitation to seek out a spiritual retreat overseas. Except, I want to sort of loosely interpret this through the fifth house, which seems to be a bigger significant energy. So let's just see if we can get a little bit more on that. Okay. I think that some of you guys have a little bit of a disconnect between your head and your heart at this time, okay? I feel like you guys have identified somewhere that you want to go. I just want to encourage you not to lose hope in this plan that you have. I'm getting the idea that you guys are identifying a plan or one thing that you want to bring in, and I love to see that, you guys, because it's, lots of sort of confusion, and I just think of it as gray energy, kind of arises when we identify and entertain too many thoughts and passions, and we kind of want to whittle it down to just one. The wands talk about spirituality, passion, and inspiration. I'm getting a little bit of two energies coming through, kind of a split message. One of them seems to be about you guys following your heart's greatest desire, and that is for one of you, for one energy group. The other energy group is that some of you really are recovering after a heartbreak, and there's something on the mind that has to do with heart and love and just feeling a little bit like you've been kissing a lot of frogs and you're ready for something more significant, and I'll touch on that energy second. I want to start with you guys. this idea of passion, you also could be both of these energies, okay? But this first energy that I'm getting is that there's something you want to go after, or you guys really desire a lot more freedom and spontaneity and just a lot more zeal and lust for life. You guys really desire more humor and romance, and just you want to see, you're like asking the universe, show me more magic. And I actually think that would be something useful for you guys. You could just say, speak to your guides, quietly when you wake up in the morning, when you're still in the theta waves. Ask your guides, say, guides, I really need to see something passionate today. I really need to see some magic. Please show me magic today. And you can just say that and just be open. That's what the Fool says. Be open. Be open to what this looks like and what shape it shows up in, and just start recording all day long. Open up a notes on your phone or just write this down on paper and just ask your guides to show you some magic, to show you some spontaneous serendipity, to show you something that just is, pure joy and, something uplifting. I think that would be very helpful for you guys to ask your guides at this time to just show you a little bit of magic of the world, because for some of you, I'm getting that we really need to focus on passion, and that's because you guys have been focused too hard on career or more mundane aspects of life, or it's because you guys just really haven't experienced passion for a while and you're a little bit bored of life. And I'm getting that's because in the past, you guys have sort of wanted to entertain like 5 passion projects, but I don't see that anymore for you. I see you guys identifying one, and this is a really strong encouragement from Spirit that this is exactly what we've been trying to show you and trying to get you to look at. If you could just identify one thing that you're interested in, it takes so much effort to bring even that one goal, because you guys don't identify something small and little. You're not asking for a tiny little glimmer of something to come in. Your dreams aren't small things like, oh, I wish to see a penny on the sidewalk. No, it'd be something much bigger, like I wish to have financial freedom. That's the kind of difference I'm getting. So if you try to go after 5 dreams that big, it splits your energy. There's so much that is required to even pull one thing through into fruition in this third density. We live in a very slow, dense world. Unless you're really comfortable and experienced with working with magic, then it's very, very fast. But what I'm getting is that your guides are super happy to see you identifying one thing that you're going after. Again, I do get a strong message of travel. I get an indication of travel here. So some of you might find yourselves abroad at this time, or I think that what you could be seeking is a different perspective in the world, and your guides are encouraging you to spread your wings right now. We really are asking you to take a look overseas. And that can also just look like out of state or out of your town, to take a different route to work. There's something that needs to be ignited at this time, and it's a heavy emphasis on passion. Holy crap, I'm getting like a bazillion messages at once right now. I'm getting the idea that you guys should look at a certain scent. I want you guys to invest in a scent that says you, that really labels you. It could literally just be candles around the house. But I'm getting that it is a perfume or a cologne that really is, it represents who you are, and it uplifts your spirit, and it's just a better embodiment of you. Because when you start adorning yourself with things like clothes that accurately represent who you are on the inside, and things like taking better care of your skin and hair and trying out perfumes, I'm getting that that is really going to appeal to your senses, because we want to awaken your senses at this time. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever lens you want to put this through, it could be so many different things. For example, you could attract a partner with a cologne, but you could also just simply create a creative environment by placing candles around your house that release an inspiring scent. You can see how these readings can be interpreted through many lenses. What I'm getting is a heavy emphasis on joy. And I'm also getting that some of you guys should really start taking, this seriously. For example, just like a different route to work. One time I was driving to work and the road was blocked, and it was such a random blockage. I also wasn't really I'm not from that state. I was just living there for a year or two. And I was like, I was pretty sure there was only like one main road to be able to go in the direction I wanted to. So I just like pulled out my maps real quick, and it took a while, but I had it reroute me. And sometimes you just got to do that. You just got to strike off in a different direction and then, try to find your way back. I'm also seeing you guys just drive off into the sunset would be super helpful to your energetic state right now, because we want to inspire passion. We want you to focus on, for the next chapter, however long this is going to be, it could be 5 weeks or 5 months. I'm getting a strong idea of just focusing on passion, things that uplift you, joy, entertainment. This is talking to me about starting new shows. One of my friends just finished watching Glee, and oh my God, don't judge me, guys. I asked her if she had ever seen Gossip Girl, because I loved Gossip Girl, and she hadn't, and she's starting Gossip Girl, and we had a funny little conversation about how she loves to start new shows on Mondays. And is that weird? And I was like, no, I feel like it helps you embody who you're going to be for that next however long the show is going to last. Hey, you might just like change up your hair or something, or like put on a new outfit that day. I'm getting a strong idea about experiencing something more with the senses. We want to experience a lot more with the senses, because I feel like perhaps you guys are growing bored of this world. That was a strong train of thought for a group in this collective, okay? Anything else with this, guys, here? Yeah, I really do get an idea of travel, and I can touch on that, but before I go too far down this collective, I kind of want to touch back over here for a second. When I see the Three of Swords, it can mean multiple things. For some of us, it is the idea that there is a disconnect between your mind and your heart, and we really want to bring those in balance, because when they are not in balance, when they're sort of fighting each other, we can get really confused about what we desire in life and what we want to go after, and we can kind of feel like energy works against us, when the reality is there's just simply an imbalance within us. And so you could just ask through meditation, through, right before you fall asleep, I love to do that. Just ask your guides, please bring my heart and my brain into my mind, my thoughts. Please bring them into alignment. Please bring them into harmony. You can also focus on your heart, visualize your heart expanding, and just, I just saw like a little white cord kind of snake up from your heart and through your neck and to touch your brain, and just create harmony there. Send some white light, send some love. Maybe place a hand on your head and place a hand on your heart, and just ask that they become in better alignment and reach for harmony, so that you don't feel confused about things, you don't get lost at times, so that you can be more established in the physical realm. I also do get that you guys could really heed kind of these messages about expanding your experience, watching new TV shows, changing up something. I'm getting scent and taste. I want you guys to try a new restaurant, to try a different type of food that you don't normally like to eat. I'm hearing Indian food, and I'm hearing Thai food. I love Thai food, you guys. I'm also hearing Mediterranean. So I'm getting the idea that you guys really would benefit from new scents and flavors and exposing yourself to different things, because this is science now that we're going down. When you expose yourself to the same exact things every single day, day in, day out, of course it's going to be gray. Of course life is going to feel mundane. There is so much more out in the world. And guys, I'm not trying to call any of you out. I actually really struggle with this energy in my life too at times, because I'm someone who's very picky, and maybe you are too. I'm very selective. I'm very, very critical, especially out at restaurants, because I'm a very good cook. And so it means that I don't like to go out to eat, because I'm just like, I'm not going to waste my money on something that I could have cooked so much better. But it's more that you cut off yourself from experiencing the vastness of this earthly realm, is what I'm hearing and feeling, okay? Now, I do want to touch on love, because I do get that, but I just kind of wanted to pull one more message. Wow, that's beautiful. The World card with the Chariot to me literally says expand right now. Also, I'm getting the idea that you guys are getting and receiving motivation to step out into the world, and that is going to shift your energy. The World card is an incredible blessing, and this is coming from you opening up and expanding. The Chariot card to me is saying like take off, sort of like take off into the world and see what can be shown to you at this time. For them to cross each other, I really love to see that, okay? I'm getting the idea again of travel. We're really, really asking you to even start small. Some of you are already abroad, and that's amazing. Others of you, we want you to literally just leave your town, go to a different town around dinner time, and just find somewhere to eat. And don't have it be the most, don't make it such that if it's not the most incredible restaurant, then it was a failed attempt. Because right now, what I'm getting that the only thing we need to expose ourselves to is the only thing we really want to focus on is exposure, right? We're getting that from this, the world figure being completely exposed right now. The Fool card saying be open, okay? The Chariot card says literally get in your car and go. You are ready right now. And I think that we want you guys to just experience a little bit more of this world, because I feel like you're a little bit caught up in the mundane, or maybe thinking it's a little boring, and we want to just bring you more. It's like we want to show, there is the message. We want to work with you to show you there is so much more that you have yet to experience. I'm hearing that the best years of your life are in the future. The best version of yourself, clarity, is in the future. It's just that we're trying to bring in something that's too big for what we're feeding ourselves. It's like the idea of wanting to grow a mammoth sunflower in a small terracotta pot. There's simply not enough soil and room in that little terracotta pot to grow a mammoth sunflower. That kind of sunflower is called like a mammoth. You guys know what I mean? They're like as big as a saucer, a dinner plate saucer. That's the energy that I'm getting. You just need to have a little bit of expansion at this time in order to get rid of ideas of feeling stuck. It's just going to give you more options. That science thread that I was trying to pull in there a couple minutes ago is the idea that if you only feed your brain the same things, it's never going to create new neural pathways, and it actually is going to impede your psychic ability. It's going to impede your creativity, and it's going to dampen your imagination. You have to feed yourself with new books, new TV shows. I'm hearing podcasts. I'm hearing download, what's that app called? Duolingo. It helps you learn new languages. I'm seeing you guys expose yourself to books on tape. And also I'm seeing again that idea of you just getting in your car at night and going for a drive when the sun is going down. Just drive. It doesn't matter where. And just, you have your phone charged so you can get back, but just drive in that direction. Take as many turns as you want and just see how far you can go. And then when you've done that, you get to just drive back and, just enjoy that time, because I feel like it's going to release some energy. I feel like there's energy that has to be released at this time. And all of the energy that I'm picking up on supports this exposure and this expansion. Which is what I seem to be talking about at this time. Okay, I'm getting the idea that you guys, when you take this trip, it does something for your career, is what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. I want to go ahead and pull some earth magic. And then we'll do love, sorry. Ebb and flow. This to me is our heading into the relationship. I feel like you and you guys are the more important energies with what we've drawn so far. So we'll leave you guys out. Ebb and flow to me talks about energetic states, and it talks also a lot about relationships, and this is a message that I've been trying to bring through recently because it was so influential to me. I was taking, I had a vocal coach a couple summers ago, and she was just a very well-rounded individual. I really, really liked her, and I was also in a really passionate relationship in my life at that time, and it was just so scary for me. I'd never felt that strongly for a person before. Again, I'm very selective. And I was just like all consumed in this relationship. And she really did help me balance out my ideas about what communication should look like. And it really, really comes down to the idea that people and their feelings ebb and flow. We're very, very highly connected to nature. We're very, very spiritual beings that sometimes get lost in the mundane. And what I'm seeing is that if you are in an ebb right now, we want you to expand, because that is what's going to reveal this person that I'm picking up on for you. You're going to cross serendipity. There's some part where you cross paths by simply going out and exposing yourself. I'm also just hearing that you going out and just experiencing more of the world, watching new shows, listening to different music, finding a perfume that really describes you, finding your unique scent. That is, all of these things are necessary right now. In order to develop, we need you guys to experience a little bit more joy and pleasure. And perhaps for some of you, this is actually changing what you wear and dressing like you've always wanted to, regardless of your age. Ebb and flow. Sometimes you guys, I'm picking up on, there are people here who are presently in relationships. Sometimes things are grand. And then when they're not, it doesn't mean that you guys are not meant to be together. What it means is that people sometimes have to focus on themselves and have to experience individual growth. And that's just what they're doing. And sometimes you need to focus on yourself. Sometimes you need to put yourself on center stage and go after your heart's greatest desire. It doesn't mean that the relationship is doomed. It's just an indication that you guys understand how complex we are as souls, as people, you know. I'm getting the idea of someone who's in a relationship presently and just learning about that balance. Because once you can realize that after an ebb comes the flow, you won't be anxious when you're in an ebb. You won't feel anxious and like you're doing something wrong when you focus on yourself. I sense that there's some insecurities, anxieties, or jealousy when you're not pouring attention onto your partner, or vice versa. And this will all resolve. The sea will start to settle when you can give your partner space and when they can allow you space as well. I'm getting the idea that some of you perhaps feel guilty maybe for like not having a lot going on in the bedroom at this time, and just recognize that relationships ebb and flow, and that's so natural. Like, it came from this incredible woman. Her name is Cassie Coleman, and she had been divorced and she had been remarried, and she just had wise advice. And that's the message I get when I see ebb and flow. There was something that I just saw. What was that, spirit? Okay. Maybe it'll come back. I was picking up on something there, okay? I want to see if... Oh, the message was, for those of you who are experiencing a little bit less going on in the bedroom, relationships can look like anything. You know, I think that in our day and age, we really emphasize on fairy tales and fairy tale loves in the movies. And again, there is this idea of complexity of soul here that pile one, group one is turning on to. And what I want to say is that you can design your relationship to look like anything. Maybe once in a while, you guys go on Tinder just to flirt with people, and you know, that kind of could spark something. Maybe sometimes you guys go on dates, but it's just dinner with other people. That's the energy that I'm getting, okay? Spirit, is there something we want to talk about with passion, or is it less about romance? Forgiving and learning. Okay, this is exactly what I'm seeing, okay? Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. That's what I'm feeling from here. And then stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance, okay? So what I see is someone who can detach from wanting love, and by doing so, it brings it to them like that. That's how the universe works, at least in my opinion, at least from what I've seen so far in life. When I don't focus on something, I have to clearly identify what that something is. That's this card here. But once you've clearly identified it, you can detach yourself from it coming in, detach yourself from the how, remove the word how from your vocabulary, because that word how can only be operated, it can only come up with solutions that you have been exposed to. Such a powerful, I love your reading, you guys. It's very, very woven together nicely. The idea that you can only come up with so many solutions depending on what you've exposed yourself to in the world. I'm getting the idea that pile 1 needs to see more of the world because it's going to give them more to pull on, to draw on. This could be a creative person who writes books and needs to expose himself to different people so that they have a rich source to pull from when they're making characters or designing a setting in their book. I'm also getting it's the idea that if you simply identify that you want to experience a great love in this lifetime, you will. You literally will. It is a desire of yours, and so you will be able to create that because you are an expression of consciousness, and you have the ability to create anything that you desire. True love, real love, long-lasting, passionate love, if that's something that you're curious about. What it has to do with right now is removing the gray energy and being in at least the energy of acceptance. So I'm getting the idea of opening the heart chakra. I'm seeing that here. So you could look up heart chakra binaural beats or meditations, anything like that. And it's also, again, by you just focusing a little bit on what you want to expose yourself to and lots of newness, again, in the terms of the books you read, the shows you watch, the drives to and from work, new restaurants, new languages, of traveling. Those are going to put you in a vibrational state that make you a match for this partner that you're searching for. And you guys, I do believe that these are all the messages that are coming through at this time. I want to thank you so much for being here and sharing this space with me. Thank you for allowing me to read your energy. If you've made it this far into the video, please give me a big thumbs up. That helps me go so far in the land of YouTube. And until next time, stay divine. Let's start off with a house. I want to know what house we seem to want to talk about. Can I get a house, please, for pile 2? Where do we want to focus? Okay, we want to focus on the 4th house, which to me kind of talks about the home or family, but let's just take a second and read these off for you guys. Family, home, background, comfort, cooking, inner world, real estate, shelter, self-care, rejuvenation, habits, and the shell. Okay, and I'm going to just open up with some tarot. All right, Spirit, what do we want to talk about the home about? Oh. Okay, curious. Give me just a couple seconds, guys. What I feel like is there is some faded energy coming through regarding your home. I feel like there's a decision that needs to be made about the home, or right now we really want to put in a lot of effort to make the home a creative environment to be, especially if you consider yourself to be someone spiritual in nature. I'm getting the idea that with the Wheel of Fortune, it always talks to me about ups and downs of fate, and followed by the Ace of Cups, I see this as an upturn in fate. So it feels like we want to bless the 4th house, which has to do with your family, your home, and perhaps the life that you don't put on social media, especially, okay? When I say the Ace of Cups, it really does talk about the need to feel lovable and worthy of love at this time. And then followed by the Hermit. The Hermit really talks about putting the self first in an effort to reveal something, to bring something to life that is necessary. It's like a necessary ingredient at this time in your life. It reveals what makes you individual and special and what makes you shine. I'm getting the idea of perhaps going in a little bit. I could see this Wheel of Fortune as a giant shell. So some of you, I think, are curious about moving, or you're curious about where you come from, and you're curious about a little bit, the word rejuvenation is picking up to me. So I feel like we're emphasizing the house and the home right now in order to fill your well is what I'm getting, okay? So for some of you, this looks like a deep deep dive. For others of you, it's simply right now we want to talk about being around the house right now, because if you're someone who works from home, then your place of refuge is really important. It's important. Okay, I just heard a message. It's important that you decorate, even if you're not going to be here for a long time. Even if this is not where you picture yourself being indefinitely, we want to make sure that it is a place that you can come to and feel rejuvenated when you come home. My boyfriend and I always talk about this. We live in very, very Southern California, about an hour or two from Mexico, and it is very, very different from where we both grew up. We grew up where there was a lot more water and life, frankly. And we always talk about the fact that when we come home, it feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like an escape. And that's what we want to design for Pile 2. We want when you come home to feel, even especially if you don't want to be where you currently are right now, where you currently reside, and you want to eventually expand. I'm hearing that it's so important to establish a home base right now. We really want you to put your roots down, and I'll figure out why. Okay, I feel like right now we want you to put down roots because there's an element of your personality that needs to come to light. That is, right now, it's under a shadow. I just heard shadow banned. Maybe some of you guys are shadow banned on Instagram, but what a shadow ban is something where you reveal something really authentic that isn't necessarily what Instagram's community wants to talk about, which is oftentimes occult things or sensuality or sexuality. Instagram thinks it goes against community guidelines. Maybe that's the energy that you guys feel about that. I just think it's so stupid and ridiculous to think that we have to prevent some things from being viewed online as if Google doesn't exist. Like, it's so backwards. I'm getting a confirmation right now with an airplane overhead. Maybe some of you guys receive confirmations through birds or other winged things, and this is a confirmation that you chose the right pile. What I'm getting is that there's something close to heart right now that we want you to put a little bit more love on. And I think, as interpreted through the fourth house, this is your feeling of security. We want to make sure inside is a safe and secure place to be, especially if you desire to branch out eventually. I'm getting that there is karma linked to the house right now. And for the majority of you, this feels like accepting where you are, even if it's not the final resting place, even if it's not where you want to put down roots. I'm getting that if you desire to be in that place where you can put down roots, what we want you to do is instead focus on what you presently have, because that puts you in a vibrational match for the future you desire for yourself. I hope that really makes sense. So, for example, I'll just use myself, you guys. So when we first got to this apartment, we had a gorgeous, not gorgeous, LOL, not gorgeous at all, a back lot that was just paved. Right? And I am from somewhere and I want a garden eventually. So instead of just, being like, God, there's virtually no life here. It's just grayness all around. It's just cement. You can't even grow flowers on cement. What we did was invest in some garden boxes and raised beds, because we're going to be here in Southern California for a little bit longer. And I knew I didn't want to go without. So if you could live in the vibration of presently having the life you picture for yourself, that's going to make it a lot easier for you in the future. I'm also getting the idea that try to write down exactly what you want your life to look like with scripting. I think scripting is something that's coming through and something that you might find very, very useful. I think that you guys could also write sigils, design your own sigils to bring in this fated event. I see that the Wheel of Fortune wants to turn in your favor, but again, when I see the Wheel of Fortune, to me it talks about the idea that of a grain mill and what's needed to turn grain into flour, something that you have but you want it to be more profitable. It needs water or action in order to turn the wheel to grind the grain and turn it into flour, which is something that is a lot more abundant. You can sell flour for a lot more. What is needed is action, and it's like the idea of needing to dare to steer the course in your own life. I'm also heavily picking up on a shell here, you guys, and with the Hermit card, I'm getting the idea that if you could pull inward right now, there's some perhaps even spiritual truth that wants to come to light. For others of you, this is simply an aspect of your personality that I seem to be picking up on. The Sun card is a glorious card to come out, certainly followed by the Hermit, which to me talks about going into a cave almost like hibernation, and then followed by the Sun. It means really self-awareness and illumination. I'm getting the idea that you guys desire or are learning about what you desire. I think that the Wheel of Fortune could be clogged right now for some of you who feel like you want something else, but you're not quite able to put your finger on it. You just know where it is right now, just ain't it. And I think that one thing that we really want to highlight to you is the need to feel grounded and in your body and worthy of love. I am picking up on a message of love here, you guys. Some of you could be celebrating a birthday in July, so happy early birthday to you guys. What I want to do is, I usually pull away insignificant cards. For some reason, it feels almost as if all of these cards are significant, so I'm going to leave them out on the table. And it does feel like there's one more message. Okay. I feel like some of you guys have been kissing frogs lately in matters of love. I also do get an idea of a flame coming through. We'll pick up on him in a moment. But what I'm getting between these two cards is an emphasis on your energetic state, especially because that was stated by the Sun, and he just looks like a big old ball of zeal and energy. And I want to tell you that if you guys aren't in love with your life right now, that's something that you have the power to change. It simply comes from recognizing what's not quite working, where you want to shift energy. You have the power to once you recognize what isn't working for you, okay? I do see a shift in your energy. I see you shifting from a state of confusion, not knowing what you want, into a state of knowing exactly what you want, but also feeling capable of achieving or bringing that in. I'm also hearing the idea of flowers being important to you guys. I'm getting the idea that right now, if you were to bring and decorate the house, that's really supported right now. We want to make sure that your home is a place where you feel creatively abundant, but also simply changing something small like that, bringing flowers into your home, really shakes up your energy. When you walk into the living room and there hasn't been anything that's changed in there for months, and all of a sudden there's a bouquet of sunflowers on the table, it changes you. It really, really changes you. And I'm not just saying this, I wouldn't tell you if I hadn't already experimented with it myself. It does something to your mind and to your psyche. I'm also getting the idea of letting your hair down, being a little bit less strict with yourself, especially with how you decorate yourself, how you adorn yourself, what you wear. Let it not be so rigid at this time. Let your I just heard sexuality for some of you, but let your fashion style be a little bit more flexible at this time. There's something about uplifting the energy around the home. There seems to be an emphasis on switching up some things around the home, okay? Because I see the Ace of Cups, it's the energy of love, but it says in order to bring in love, you have to feel lovable. And then I see the energy of the Page of Cups, which to me says to expect the unexpected. Because if you were to hold a golden goblet, you were down by the water sipping a beer with your friends, would you expect a fish to jump out and just start talking at you? I feel like that's not really common. So it tells me to expect the unexpected. And if you're in that vibration, you're going to bring in so many more opportunities, or you're going to be able to recognize them, compared to if you were in the energy of just being like, this just ain't it. This just ain't it. But if you're in the energy of being like, magic exists, I've seen it, magic is real, all sorts of serendipity happens, chance exists in this universe, and you never know what blessing is around the corner. If you were to be in that vibrational state, that's going to bring in what I feel like seems to be a romantic partner who's being represented by the Page of Wands, which could simply be the energy of passion itself, okay? Some of you really desire family and to set down roots with someone, but it perhaps is not in the near future. There's some karma, some energy that is needed at this time in order to make you a vibrational match for something long lasting. And it's all the energy that we've picked up on so far. Lots of messages coming in quickly for pile 2. This Page of Wands, though, I want to know a little bit about them. So I'm going to reach for this deck. Spirit, this Page of Wands, I like them. I love the Page of Wands. They are a younger energy. This person could be younger than you. They could have blonde hair. And there's something about how they express themselves through their fashion, through what they wear. There's something very significant about them, whether that be a hat that they put on, or what they dress like, or just like their physical body. Do you know, guys, I feel like you guys are attracted to a specific body type. Not to shun any body type, that's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. It's just, I feel like there's something about their physical body that attracts you to them. Okay, I'm also, recognizing the Ace of Cups that's under the deck here. Can I just get a message, please, from this Page of Wands? Okay. They seem to want to talk to you about your energetic state regarding emotions, and it feels like they want to relay to you how important it is to dream a future into being. It feels like we want to focus a lot of energy on designing a home that is inspiring to you. I get that some of you want to work from home, or there seems to be a strong link to home, and I'm getting the idea that you might be moving homes here in the near future. If that's something that you desire, at the very least, we want to make sure that it is a creative space to be. Can I have another message? Some of you are being a little bit too strict with yourself or your vision. There's this need for flexibility that's being highlighted. Just because something has been built up doesn't mean that it's not capable of being knocked down. There's an idea of needing to go with the flow a little bit, but there's also this element of structure and stability that is necessary at this time in your life. I'm hearing that if you want to go and change lily pads, leap into a different pond, what you really need to do first, instead of kind of pouring all your energy into the leap, you need to get your ground, you need to get your footing, is what I'm hearing, is the emphasis. And I think that we're really underscoring this need to pull into our shell at this time in order to connect with our guides, connect with our higher self, to receive some information. Something is necessary. It is required to pull away from the world right now in order for you to get your footing. I'm seeing like a hurdler. So maybe you guys ran track when you were younger, or maybe you ran track now. I'm getting the idea that you have to set down blocks. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with track sports, but blocks are what the runners and sprinters get down into to push off of when they're sprinting. It's because it creates a lot of forward momentum. And that is the idea that I'm pulling through for group 2. I'm getting the idea that we want to learn how to, but also pour our energy into the foundation, into the home at this time, into self-care, into nourishing the body, feeling in the body right now. Feeling safe and secure is going to help you propel forward when you need to, and when you are greeted by this opportunity that I see coming in the future that is going to turn the wheel of fortune in your favor. It feels stuck at this time. We want to grease the wheels. We want to lay down a foundation. So to me, that could look like multiple things. It could be saving some money. It could be doing a little bit of research about where you want to go. All things of that nature, but especially nurturing the body and nurturing the environment at home. So if you have a very stressful job, we want you to come home and feel like you can completely detach from that, whether that be losing yourself in the kitchen and cooking really good foods, watching the water you put in your body is a message I'm getting. I'm hearing if you drink from the tap, that's probably not a good idea. I'm sensing that you guys are too sensitive for that. Even changing something simple like that will dramatically change your health. Watch the water you put in your body. I don't know if you guys have access to those purified water stations that are at grocery stores. What I do is, because I am far too sensitive to the water here, it actually stings my hands. I can't even wash my hands or do dishes for an extended period of time without it stinging my hands. So I have these 5-gallon water buckets that I take to the grocery store and fill up about once a week. Usually I have 3 of them. I'm getting that that's something important for you guys. We want you to get sunlight on your skin. We want to emphasize health and foundation, and I think that has to do with you getting grounded. We want you to feel safe and secure at this time because you're in a preparation stage. You're in a stage where there are things moving forward, events that are planned, that you planned before you incarnated, that want to move through, fated events. Lots of significant major arcana cards here. There's something that we need you to prepare for. It's almost the energy of the squirrel in the animal medicine deck, which talks about gathering resources. And to me, this is preparing you for the next chapter of your life. I get that some of you are going somewhere, okay? But I want to see if we're picking up on eventually this Page of Wands. But for some reason, I'm really not curious about romance with you guys. I want to draw more of a spiritual lens. Let's go here first. This is going to be for pile 2, please. This actually feels pretty good already. The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive Hits, Soul Tribe. And then I want to get one more. That's kind of like the preparation energy that I was feeling. It's also the intuitive hit is popping out to me. It's making me think of this shining light. I always think of the hermit goes into the cave without the lantern lit, and he emerges with it lit. Okay, let's just pick up on one more, please. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Oh, there are 2 here. You're already doing it. Keep facing your true north. Stop overthinking. Okay, wow. These are large messages. Okay, let me see where I want to focus first. This is my favorite card. Okay, so what I'm getting is that this answer the call, what is your soul calling you to do? It's really linked with the Hermit card. Okay, there's something you are preparing to go or do something. You're preparing to make some significant change in your life. What is needed is action, and yet what we want you to do is gather your resources right now, gather your reserves, get all your ducks in a row, all your T's crossed, all your I's dotted, because we're preparing you to launch into some next chapter of your life, okay? I'm getting the idea that you've identified where you want to go, what you want to do. You've identified the target, and that's amazing. This is a confirmation for you guys. Sometimes, the biggest thing I ever want to get out of a tarot reading, I feel like this could be you, is just a confirmation that you are in this energy, that you've identified something correctly, because it can, I do see a lot of gray energy. It can be hard to identify things because we live in a 3D world that is sometimes works very, very slow, and there's all sorts of different things that we have to balance. Balance is one of the hardest things to do in this lifetime. There's work, there's life, there's keeping the house clean, there's exercise, there's getting outside, there's getting enough sleep, there's making sure you're reading, exposing yourself to new things. I could go on and on and on. But I feel like you guys are getting quiet. I see you guys moving forward into a period where you're getting quiet in the mind, recognizing, and yeah, you're getting something with pinpoint accuracy is what I just heard. And for some of you, I get that you've already identified. Just keep being diligent with yourself, and especially the body and the home right now. And this is, it's just like a big old green light is what I see from this so far. And then... yeah, I think that's what I'm getting from these cards. I do want to finish up with this guy right here. Let's see. Spirit, this Page of Wands, I do feel like this feels more in the future, you guys. Though it is general and all of your timelines will be very different. That's something I feel like I just want to illustrate real quickly. For example, some of you could be, I guess I've moved the card so it's hard to illustrate this. Some of you could experience this hermit mode and be done with it in 3 days. But for some of you, it could take 3 months. Because you don't necessarily have the time to be able to focus there. And then after those 3 months, this Page of Wands would move in. This relationship is kind of what I'm picking up on. But for others of you who take this to heart, who really pay attention to what your soul is urging you to do, you're going to experience this abundance, this sunlight, this sunny period of your life a lot quicker. Okay, so could I just, I'm going to just, here. I guess I just really don't want this to look messy. Okay. Small bump. Just friends. All too well. Yikes. Okay. What I sense is not necessarily a relationship. That would be the spirit of passion and going somewhere new. I think right now what we seem to be talking about and why we have the need to feel lovable right now is that some of us are perhaps getting out of a relationship or something, some fight happened. Small bump makes me think it's not the end of the world. For others of you, you were pining after this person and they were showing you signs that they were interested in you, but I feel like you guys are just friends or they just wanted sex, right? And then with All Too Well, it really does make me think, obviously of that Taylor Swift song, but it's such a deep, deep, mournful song. I feel like some of you guys are perhaps, oh God, I hope this isn't anyone here. I think one of you could have lost a partner. I feel for you. I'm sorry about that. Others of you, I just feel like perhaps are mourning the loss of a friendship or a love that didn't quite pan out. I'm hearing that it fizzled out. And for others of you, it just didn't quite take it to the next level for you. But that's fine because I see something in your future. And right now we want you to focus on feeling safe. We really want you to be able to stand tall alone for this time. I do want to draw one card. This will be the final message, please. It does feel like you. Saturn. Wow. Okay. Yikes. Not yikes in a bad way. I shouldn't have said yikes. Because this is the planet that is going to bless you next, okay? And if you take a look at this, it's actually quite remarkable. Very serendipitous. Synchronistic, sorry, is the word I was reaching for. Would you look at this? Scaffolding, structure, discipline, grounding. So what we're doing right now is preparing you. Right now you are gaining a lot of wisdom. Whatever you're going through right now, pile 2, it is important for the growth of your soul, but it is setting the foundation for the future. That's so remarkable. Right now, what you are doing is like you are going to the track, you're getting your blocks, you're setting them blocks down, and you're practicing how to take running starts with these new blocks. We really want you to focus on structure and the home and feeling comfortable in your body, feeling lovable. These are all really, really important energies. Now, Saturn does talk about great efforts and great work, action necessary in order to achieve hard-earned results. And yet, those results are huge. And though the work required to put in is equally as huge, okay, is the message that I'm getting. But this seems to be like, I'm very confident that you guys are moving forward in a beautiful direction. Don't overthink it. Just move forward with energy that feels supported. Recognize that it is going to be a lot of work right now. I think for some of you, it might be difficult to pull away from people and to kind of, focus on the home. But what I do get is that there is this need for self-control and a little bit of practicality at this time in your life. Okay, so these feel like all the messages that are coming through. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for letting me read your energy, and thank you so much for making it this far into the video. If you are, in fact, still here, you could give me a big thumbs up. It helps me go so far in the land of YouTube. And until next time, stay divine. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So I pulled your house first on off camera, sorry. I was just slipping into the channeling state already there for a second. What I want to do before is just read you off what the house, the 12th house, could represent. And this house is going to be where I loosely interpret your reading through. So it feels like Spirit really wants to talk to you about your subconscious, compassion, dreams, karma, forgiveness, baggage, trance states, the unseen, healing, spiritual development, guilt, prayer, Akashic records. So you guys could have strong 12th house placements, lots of planets in the 12th house. And what I get is it's always the third pile. There's always a very spiritual pile in the mix. So let me just tune into the deck for a second. Spirit, why the 12th house? What do we want to talk about? Can I get some intel? Ooh, okay. Curious. To me, this feels like a relationship. It's not at all where I thought this was going to be. And then I'm hearing that you guys are seeing him in your dreams. Wow. Okay. Whoa. This is taking a very different angle. Okay. We're going to leave you over there for a second, pull you in to the mix. So what I'm picking up on is a really significant relationship with someone who really stands the test of time. They're being represented by the King of Pentacles. To me, this talks about someone who's very advanced in their career, someone who's established. They could be the same age as you or slightly older. And what I'm getting is that this is a blessing. This union is a blessing. For some reason, I feel like you guys don't see this guy coming. I do see it as a masculine energy, whether they be male, female, or any gender in between. The moon, yeah, right when I was talking about your dreams, but the unknown, the hidden. There's something hidden right now. And to me, this talks, what is this about, Spirit? Wow. Okay. I see some very curious energy coming through. So what I'm going to do, guys, because I'm very interested in the cards that I just drew, I'm going to pull away for a couple seconds and talk to you in just a second. Okay, guys, thank you for that. Sometimes I will just, I will scrap the reading if I'm not feeling a pull immediately, but very intrigued. So we're going to touch on this as a separate entity. It talks about a relationship. It's just very curious that the moon would come out. It talks about secrets and the unknown, the unseen, and we have the 12th house here. To me, I'm getting the idea that you guys are learning something in your dream state, which is very interesting. To me, this talks about mastering something. And to me, with the magician, it does feel magic and nature. I feel like you guys are getting important downloads in your dreams. So we really want to make sure that your sleeping quarters are sleeping quarters. Oh my God, I sound like from medieval times. We want your sleeping quarters to be very, very restful and peaceful because you guys are doing deep healing in your sleep at this time. I think that you guys are learning new things in your sleep too. The Page of Pentacles always talks to me about learning something. With Justice, I'm getting it in a very esoteric sense, and the Chariot. I'm getting the idea that you guys are preparing to go somewhere. And I feel like this is an important chapter of your life to have so many major arcana cards here. So let's just go as deep as we can with these messages. I'm going to take kind of an obscure route. I want to go with, okay, got two cards. Green Man with Synergy, and then Vision Quest. Cool. This is exactly what I was getting. Do you see this, guys? Trance States and Vision Quest. I think that what we want to talk about right now is the need right now to reach a different perspective about life in general, but I'm also feeling like it's the idea that if you guys are super curious about what you're supposed to do in this lifetime, you guys are very curious about life purpose or where you're supposed to spread your spiritual wealth of knowledge. I do see you guys as being developed spiritually. I think that you guys access the Akashic records regularly, and I think that you guys have a depth of the subconscious mind of lots of skills that you have brought through past lives. And there is the message. Thank you, Spirit. We're calling the time right now is the awakening. Right now, we're revealing truths in your sleep. There's something that you guys are learning in your sleep at this time. I feel like you guys are astral traveling in your sleep, and your higher self is teaching you things. I think that there are spiritual gifts as well as tangible gifts that are in your future. I think that we are calling for a time right now of paying attention to spirituality. This is very different compared to pile 2, for example, which was the home. And pile 1, I've honestly already forgot. I forget everything as soon as I'm done channeling. But what I'm seeing for you guys is an emphasis on spirituality and healing something so that you can receive a karmic psychic download is what I'm getting. I feel like there's something we want to heal. For some of you, I feel like it's something to do with work, the way you think about work, the way you think you have to make money. I'm hearing that instead of being in the divine masculine, you should try experimenting with the divine feminine. For others of you, this is healing a father figure or some established role in your family. There seems to be the need for energy. I'm seeing an emphasis on water and healing, and water is very, very good for purifying and for healing. If you guys desire to manifest at this time, I think that labeling a very special glass water bottle would be very helpful and useful at this time. You guys could look up manifestation techniques using water, and as always, you can bless the water you drink before you drink it is what I'm hearing. Something about learning something in your dreams. Green Man with synergy. Synergy talks about the alchemic energy that is in everything on earth. The selenite right here, the tablecloth right here, the flame. There's something to do with magic that is sprinkled throughout your reading desert with Vision Quest. If you guys can, I would heed this advice. There's something about a trance state. You guys, I've taken psilocybin before. It was not something I recommend for everyone. I actually kind of I absolutely support the psilocybin movement as something that's deeply healing. But if you're not experienced, I wouldn't do it alone, I guess is what I'm just trying to say. I'm also now seeing a lot of beautiful water coming out right here. If you guys can get next to a body of water, I think that there's something about deep healing that comes from you being in water right now. I'm also seeing the candle take off like crazy and releasing a lot of black smoke, which to me talks about cleansing your energy. I hope that this doesn't last forever. Can we just probably stop this? Why are you smoking so much? Gonna have to let it go, you guys. I think that we are touching on something important about this vision quest, though. I think that some altered state of being is necessary at this time for your spiritual and psychic development. I think that you guys could experiment with how do I say this without this video being flagged? MIND, altering substances. Maybe that'll let me through. There's this idea of experimenting with different trance states. You don't have to use those substances. You can use meditation. You can use drums. You can use the sound of a didgeridoo. And there's something about getting into an altered state of mind because I feel like your higher self has a message to communicate to you. It's really important at this time because it's something that you are meant to utilize and bestow as you continue down your path through life. I'm getting a psychic download with this Justice card. I'm getting an important message from your higher self. We want you to retreat into nature. We want you to pull away right now or be very, very cautious or experiment with falling to sleep at different states. I'm getting the idea of learning how to astral travel, learning how to have an out-of-body experience, learning how to... What was that other message, Spirit? What was that message? Something about hypnotic states. Oh, impressing things on your subconscious when you're falling asleep, especially desires, okay? The Magician card to me talks, overscoring the Page of Pentacles, learning something new or receiving a message having to do with magic and manifestation and the law of attraction, okay? I'm getting a strong emphasis on very, very spiritual messages, but it's reminding me of, I don't know if you guys watched my Are You Psychic video. If not, you can find that on this channel, or if I can remember editing, Zach, try to put a little pop-up thingy right here. There is a pile in there, and it's giving me the same energy. I'm talking to people who are very spiritually advanced, and we're talking about things that are a little bit difficult for me to relay because I think they're past my area of expertise. And that kind of is the message that I'm getting for you guys. There's something, though, that we have within us right now that we already know about that needs to be awakened. And for some reason, I'm feeling like it's through healing, through prayers, and through trance states, through traveling through the Akashic records, learning about astral travel, remote viewing. They're very, very occult topics that seem to be flooding my subconscious right now. Some of you could learn how to channel, or we really are trying to encourage you to remember that in past lives, you used to channel, and you can do that in this life. Just recognize what is necessary in order to establish this channel. Is this, a full moon? Is this setting a foundation in the home? Is this getting out into nature? Is this trying different, hallucinogenics or marijuana to have a spiritual experience? There's this need to shift your perspective, to take it out of the mundane, to pull it out of the human body, to remind you about the etheric, to remind you about the unknown, to remind you about how we are infinite. There's something that we want you to pull down from the universe in order to bestow truth on other people to help guide the way for future generations, is what I'm hearing. All of these messages and more. Wow. And I haven't even pulled a spiritual lens yet. Spirit, could we perhaps get a little clarity? These two popped out immediately. Okay. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. That to me is the healing. Okay, so you guys are spiritually advanced. You're here to break the chain in your family. You're here to stop the cycles of trauma in your family, okay? There's this no card, I'm actually not getting any of the words down here. What I'm seeing is the triangle and the lightning. The lightning is the most divine element on earth. It's making me think of the incredible magic that is this Green Man synergy, okay? And I'm getting incredible insights and downloads from a vision quest. I feel like you guys could seek out spiritual healers who use earth medicine in order to have a spiritual experience. There's something remarkable that you have in your brain, stored in your subconscious, and we need to pull it up to the surface right now. We need you to remember. And to me, we're talking also about healing something to do in the family. That's why I was seeing this as the father or some patriarchal figure in your house. For others of you, this is the idea of how you need to be making money, how much money you need to make, the way you make money. There's something that needs to be healed because you are meant to guide people in a different direction in this lifetime. With Unbound, releasing soul patterns and contracts, past lives, there is absolutely something that you're here to do, something really significant. You're here to end karma that is in your family line. You guys were witches in past lives. You guys are shamans in this life. There's something along these lines. Guys, I'm sorry if my voice sounds croaky. It's I'm channeling something deep right here. I'm trying to really focus in on this, but I'm also recognizing right now the moon falling over the moon is heightening something. There's something really needing to come to the surface at this time. It feels like cutting away anything from the past relationships, anything in this lifetime that needs to be sorted out. Just make sure that that's been done right now, because we are preparing you to learn something, to remember something really significant, some gift you have to bestow to humanity at this time to assist Earth in its transition, its cleansing, its purifying period right now. We're purifying. We're doing something really big. It's like really, really hurting my throat right now to channel this message. Spirit guides, could you please try to do a different energy form? You're kind of cramping my throat right now. You're going to really... Sorry, guys. I needed to take 2 seconds to get some water. My whole throat is like really tight right now. I'm going to try to channel a message using a different deck. What I think is going on is that I've hit the nail on the head, and I'm trying to make your reading go past 20 minutes, and I feel like I don't need to. But I do want to finish up with a channeled message. So, Spirit, Six of Wands, victory. Yeah, you guys are going to be victorious, and whatever you are trying to pull through right now, I see success. What I just heard was, don't be afraid of this gift. I think some of you are actually blocking the manifestation of something that has been trying to come through. It's actually already been showing up in your dreams. You've already been learning this on the astral plane, is what I'm hearing, and victory is yours just as soon as you could allow this to happen. There's this idea of releasing baggage. It's such a synchronistic, extremely psychically on point reading. I'm talking to very advanced souls. It's the only way that I could connect this easily. If you're highly connected to Source yourself, it's easier for me to pick up on your energy. What I'm getting is that there's absolutely divine blessing coming through, and this is a result of you burning any past life karma, anything to do with your family, any lingering thoughts about how a human should exist. You don't believe in the way and the structures that exist in the world right now. You understand that they're holding back humanity from experiencing our greatest heights and possibilities. You are being revealed and re-remembering spiritual gifts and real magic abilities that humans have and have been, those things have been hidden, and they're really stunting our growth right now, and it's very necessary for us to remember them in order for us to help shift Earth again, is what I'm getting. Guys, my throat is absolutely killing me. I'm so sorry your reading is just a little bit shorter than the others. I really hope you enjoyed the messages here, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for allowing me to read your energy. If you've made it this far into the video, please give me a big thumbs up. It helps me go so far in the land of YouTube. And until next time, stay divine.